All right, everyone, welcome back. It is another treasure hunt here. It is raining. This spring continues to do spring things, but it is treasure hunt day. We are on bulk pickup. Funny enough, we've not seen any bulk down this entire road. I do think I see a mattress, but there might be some things over here. That's just a bunch of plastic lids, and somebody took off the top to a shop vac. So other scrappers have probably been through, but we're going to try and make it a treasure hunt. See what happens. Trash picking here with taco stacks. Let's make it a good one. Let's do it. All right, I guess this is our first stop. That, I'm going to take that art piece. I leave the shovel. Might be two pieces back here. Looks like maybe a desk and a wheelchair. Tell you what, after wheeling a couple grills, wheeling a wheelchair is much easier. And I guess that would make a lot more sense, right? You'd rather be able to wheel around more easily than wheel around a grill. Oh yeah, we gotta grab that desk thing. Close this door to start making progress. Now I just tipped it over and a lot of the water just went right down my shoe. Alright. There's also a mattress up here. There was a bunch of aluminum stuff that was on the sidewalk yesterday. Just drove by that house that was on one street over, and all that aluminum stuff was gone. And there's a walker and a couple crutches, but it was like up on the sidewalk, and I was like, I don't really know. Then there was two electric wheelchairs. The electric wheelchairs are still there. They're soaking wet. But the other things are not. So someone must have came along and grabbed them. There's like a picnic table right there. Look what's still there. That grill. It's still there. Someone else tried probably moving it and couldn't move it. Oh, it's funny. The grill is still there. That's funny. It's funny to me because it's like, I know that thing was so super expensive, and it's really a novelty kind of item for people who love to do like outdoor cooking and barbecuing and on Instagram and TikTok and all those, Facebook Reel, you know, like the whole thing. Instagram Reels, I don't know what Facebook's shorts are called. There are a lot of people who really advertised that product during 2020. And they sold a lot of them. Alright, we can't do that. It's too early for that. Oh, man. I'm not going to say this weighs as much as that grill, but these have always weighed a stupid amount. I know one thing, obviously, you know, this come out later in the week, but for me, the week just kind of started for a bulk pickup. Definitely not going to hurt myself over a grill. That is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's supposed to be pretty bad weather today, so I mean it's warm out. I'm in just a hoodie, but it says it's 52. It's supposed to be really bad weather, so you guys might remember we had that one day where there's threat of tornadoes all along the East Coast. That is today. Not tomorrow, not yesterday. Today is today. It does feel nice to be able to walk around though when it's warm. Something like that. We came along to take the cord off this guy. Am I gonna be able to get off this piece? Maybe. I'll take off that. I don't know how you. There you go. Now there's still a lot of plastic on this, but there is a motor at the bottom. So I removed what I can remove. Someone else took the cord on me. They didn't take the grill. They took the cord. I see something up here poking to the left, but I don't think it's anything of importance. We're here, we're gonna look. What could it be? Another vacuum cleaner and some metal. So we'll stop again. Didn't want to block that guy's driveway, so I pulled up a little bit farther. It's a nice color on that truck. That was the color of the truck that I was gonna get. It's kind of like military greenish. This one still has the cords. It's on the back there. Got a nice metal piece. The update with my truck is the one that I was looking at. I was going back and forth. I don't know if I mentioned this. I was going back and forth with the dealership over the course of a week, and came to like one final thing where I was like, hey, can you just, you know, consider doing this and give me either a price for it, or if you think you can absorb the price, I'll buy, you know, this plus, you know, a bed liner. And I'll be in tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. I didn't hear back from them for 2 days. And they messaged me, I think, like the following day after I was supposed to show up. And they're like, sorry, it's sold. So the truck I was looking at sold. Go figure. So now I'm looking at ones even farther away. Trying to buy a 2025. Just because with Jeeps, for example, they look all the same. It really doesn't matter if you get a 2025 or a 2026. If literally you're saving $6, $7, $8, in some cases $10,000, it's like, would you rather buy a brand new vehicle that is 1 year old, that's never really been used, it's still new, and save yourself 10 grand? I feel like you would. But that's just me. Other people are different. They might still want the newest model and pay the extra 10 grand. 10 grand's a lot of money, I think. Oh, that's broken. I was going to take that, but nope. Guess we're just taking the fan. Probably not the best idea to just wear all black while trash picking on a day where it's foggy. That I'll claim responsibility for that one. The other day I was driving home and somebody was walking their dog, and they were wearing all black, walking a black dog, and it was like this. But it was late at night. It was probably like 6:30, 7 o'clock. So it was kind of dark out, and I kid you not, I probably got from here to that red trash can before I saw them. It was like, I don't think walking your dark colored dog wearing all black on a day where it's foggy at night is probably the best decision. But I pretty much can't talk too much right now because I am kind of doing the same thing. You know, this week, although I haven't documented every one, I have seen a ton of couches. Must be the week of throwing away couches. Obviously you see the mattresses, but couches are just a different breed this time around. I'm kind of due for a new couch myself. Oh, there you go, mattresses. What's up here? Oh, that's just their driveway. You know what? These houses would be perfect by the beach. Just saying. just saying. I feel like this is kind of like, maybe you can even say like North Carolina beach kind of houses. Or South Carolina. I feel like a lot of people around here move down to the Carolinas for the winter. And they probably get a much smaller house kind of like that. Those cat things are still out there. Alright, kind of winding down. This guy's coming in. Speedy Gonzalez about to smoke me. Oh, cow. What's up with people driving like lunatics? Definitely like a 20-mile-per-hour zone. The guy's going probably 40. To my knowledge, I don't think Pennsylvania has gotten rid of this law, but for police officers, unless you're a state trooper, you are not allowed to use radar, like those radar guns, to measure speed. I know a couple years back they were going to change it so you could, but you had to use a kind of like a stop clock, stopwatch kind of mechanism. So if you ever drive through Pennsylvania and you see these white lines on the road that go from one side to the other, they're just like, you know, a white line. Let's say it goes out of this driveway, it goes there, and then there's another one out of the next driveway. That is for the stop clock, stopwatch, so that police can measure how fast you're going from one line to the other, and it'll give you the speed. So with that, to my knowledge, they have not changed that law. If you ever pass a cop on a road, it's physically impossible for him to know how fast you're going because he doesn't have a radar. Unless, like I said, it is the state police, but if you pass like a local officer, town, you know, the town police or the county or whatever it is, they can't really pull you over because they don't know how fast you're going, because you can't obviously use that stopwatch, stop clock. So let's just say speed really isn't a highly enforced thing in the state of Pennsylvania for that main reason. This kind of looks like a nice piece. A lot of garbage on this road. Not really a nice piece. You can say you can make it for flowers, like use it as a flower planter. Old, man, not good when you lift it up and the rust rips off itself. It's good for flowers. Repurpose, multi-purpose. There are some fair share of mattresses out. Kind of feels like Easter. I don't know. Well, there you go again, talking about something that I think doesn't correlate to everyone. But Easter, for whatever reason, it always seems to rain. It's always cold and rainy. It's never bright and sunny. It's always cold and rainy. Easter's always like that. I feel like Thanksgiving's always like that. Two holidays around here. But then again, I guess, you know, if you don't live in the Northeast, if you live in the Southwest or the Southeast, you know, you've been dealing with 75, 80 degrees for the last couple months. Easter, which isn't too far away, probably will not feel cold and rainy. But yeah, for whatever reason, it seems like it's always like this, like Drury. My property is always super muddy. It takes until like middle of May before this kind of weather kind of cleans itself up. All right, everyone. Well, we're back in action. Another day, another dollar. We are at the scrapyard. So, back in action at the scrapyard, of course. That truck only, well, okay. I was about to say. That really shot up. Why not shot up so high? Maybe it wasn't on a scale? It read 4,700. I'm like, that doesn't weigh as much as my van. And then it shot up to 8,700. Huh. Anyway, long story short, we're at the scrapyard to drop off the metal. I don't think I found really anything besides metal. And obviously with the weather, the way it's been, you know, I don't know if we'll really be able to have anything survive without this rain. All right, well, 36 bucks. And just light iron. I took apart, I think there's like 4 things with wire back there. There's 2 vacuum cleaners, there's a microwave, and then the one fan. 36 bucks. It's a decent amount of money for just light iron. The only issue is oil and gas is a reflection of scrap in terms of pricing. They're very comparable. So I got heating oil actually delivered this morning. And usually during the winter months, it's kind of high already, and it's around like 400 bucks for a heating oil. I don't know if it's 150 gallons or whatever I order. This time it was $789. So over $300 more, almost twice the price than what I was paying in the middle of winter, which middle of winter usually is the highest. So I guess I made probably like $15 more than I usually do, but I just spent like almost $400 more for heating oil. Hey, just part of life, I guess. Take the good with the bad, and whatever else happens, I guess you got to go with it. But another day in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you find a bunch more treasure hunts, a bunch more treasure, I should say, in the next treasure hunt for the rest of the week. And thanks for tagging along for another day here of bulk pickup of trash picking. As always, if you guys enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe down below. Until next time, have a great day. Keep living the dream. Peace.